Present perfect. We're still looking at the present perfect. You can see what we did before. We looked at the present perfect and we compared it to the past simple. But now we're just going to look at the present perfect, which we know is a way that we can tell someone what action that we have done. Maybe it just recently finished, or maybe it's still continuing. So we use the subject, we use the verb to have, and then we use the past participle. We put an ed if it's regular to the verb, or we might have irregular. So we've looked at irregulars like been and gone as two of the most ones that we can ask someone if they have been to a place. Have they gone there? It's like saying, have you visited? Okay, so let's look at the present perfect. And as I said, now with these words for and since. Okay, so we're just going to add a bit more information when we tell someone or ask someone about an experience or something in their life. Okay, so we are here. We're looking at the present perfect. And as I said, we're going to be looking at the present perfect with these words for and since. So have a listen to this sentence. I've lived here for 10 years now. So when you say for, we're going to give a time. We're going to use the present perfect, but we're going to add when now, the time. But when we add the time, we have to connect it with this word for. Okay, that's the first example. I've lived here for 10 years now. So I'm still here wherever I am. If it's in Australia that I said this sentence, then it means I'm still where I am. I've lived here for 10 years and I'm still here. We've been in the new office since January. Okay, since January. So there's a time. How long have you worked here? For 5 years. So as a response, you can give your answer starting with for 5 years.
For is before, since is after.
So for means like how long, but since gives you when it happened. So if I want to tell you exactly the date or the month, I say since. You know, I've been here since Monday or since January or since 2010. So when I give like an exact time of when I arrived or whatever the action is, but for, it just means like this long, for 2 years, for 3 years. Usually for is used with years or days, you know, for 5 days, or weeks, for 5 weeks. So let's have a look and then you'll see how it works. So if we have here, I've lived here for 10 years. So there's a conversation with this woman to these people, and she's letting them know, it looks like she lives on a boat. Okay, and she's been here for 10 years. So using the present perfect, but now we're adding time. And she's still there. So this is in the moment. She's speaking now. And she's still, it happened in the past, the action, but she's still there now. So let's have a look. We use the present perfect with for and since to talk about something that started in the past and continues into the present. So if this is now, the time we're talking, you can see January. You can either say exactly the day, you say since January, or if you want to go like this, for 5 months. So it's the same time. You just got to pick if you want to say since January. So this would have since, or you want to say I've been here for 5 months. So
for 5 months. Since is a month.
No, since is exactly when. If you want to say exactly the date, the time, if you want to say exactly when, like the exact date, think of it like that. But for is like the length of it, for how long. So let's have a look. Since is the point in the time when it started, but for is the period of time. So you could say, I've been here since January. It's the same as saying, I have been here for 5 months, because you have to calculate the time now to back to when you arrived. So this could be a different answer to depending when you're talking. I came here in January. That means I'm still here. Or you could say I came here 5 months ago. So let's have a look at the difference. I've worked for the bank for 3 years. That means I still work for the bank. We could see now, and it was here. You can see for 3 years, I have been doing this action. I have been working for the bank for 3 years. Okay. Just note that we do not use since with the past simple. So important note, you can see that since is only used with the present perfect. Okay, let's practice. So we've got, I've been here. I've been here for 3 months. You can also say I've been here for a long time. I've been here for a few hours. I've been here at the beginning of the year. I've been here since. Yes, this one, we need to put it with since. Okay, so how can we do this? Let me put this one is with since.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
Since it's a specific time. For is a period time.
No, for is a specific time. I've been here, sorry, since, yes, since is specific. Yes.
For is a long time.
The amount of time.
It's a month or a year
Yes.
or a week.
Yes. It just, if you want to say exactly when, then you have to think, is it a month that I want to talk about, a year? Yeah. So I've been here since, we need to put this sentence actually here. I've been here since December. December, we put it here. I've been here for 2 years. That goes here. I've been here since 2 o'clock. So we add 2 o'clock here. I've been here since the war started. That goes here. I've been here since 1980. I've been here since Monday. Monday would go here. I've been here for 4 days. Yep. I've been here for 6 months. I've been here for 5 weeks. I've been here since my birthday. I've been here for 15 minutes. And I've been here since the 15th of May. So the for, you could really see that, yes, it does tell you more. So for the for, it does tell you more about the month, the weeks, the days, the months, the minutes. But since, it tells us more, since the exact date, since my birthday, exactly when, since Monday, since 2 o'clock, so exactly when. Okay, so we rewrote those sentences with for and since. Let's have a look at these. I'll do the first one. She's lived here for many years and she loves it. Got for many years. Okay, she's lived here for many years and she loves it. She's still here in whichever country I'm talking about. Number 2.
Number 1 is for.
Yes. She's lived here for. They did that one for us. Number 2, actually, they did it for us. I taught in a primary school for a few years, but I didn't really enjoy it. Okay, so we're using for and past simple. Good. I taught in a primary school. And you can see it continues with the past simple, and I didn't really enjoy it. So it's talking about a time, and I'm finished with this action. So it's a finished, completed action. So it's a past simple. Okay, number 3. He
has worked in the factory since he
Yeah.
left school.
Yeah, he has worked in this factory since he left school. Okay, so again, you've got that word since because we're using the present perfect. Remember, since only with the present
Life is
perfect. Because since is only used with the present perfect.
it's no specific time.
No, we don't know exactly. I mean, it is a time, but since is only used with present perfect. That's what you need to know. So don't worry about if it's specific. When you say since, it's only with the present perfect. Number 4, she.
Teacher, wait a minute.
Yes.
I don't say number 3 sentence have a specific time.
Since he left school. We don't know when he left school. Maybe he left in year 10 or 11 or 12. I don't know exactly when.
Not specific time.
It's
school. It's not specific
yeah.
time.
No, but now we're talking about that we can add time when we use these words. So you can add time. Yes. Yes. So let's have a look. She, the next one, Javiera, she
has.
She has been, I believe, she was asleep for about 11 hours.
very hard one, yeah. So she
And so
She has a sleep for about
she has been
11 hours.
yeah, she has been. Because you can't say she slept. Yeah, we have to use the has. She has slept. And then I would say since.
about 11 hours.
Yeah. So the thing is, don't get confused with this word about. If you imagine it's not there, because they're not exactly sure. They don't want to say exactly 11 hours. But yeah, she has slept, if you imagine, since 11 hours ago. So she has slept since about 11 hours. The other way to make it a past simple, she slept.
For
You would have to change this verb. She has been. Sorry, I didn't put been here. She has been asleep. She has been asleep since. She has been asleep since 11 hours, about 11 hours. She has been asleep for, I would say for. So why did I say for? She has been asleep for 11 hours. We have the hours. I think hours, days, and weeks go with the for. So remember, it's which of these kind of time phrases? It's with for. She has been asleep. I'm sure she'll wake up soon. Yes, because we have to add this word. Remember, be in the past, in the present simple is been, but in the past simple, it's was or were. Yeah. So she has been asleep for about. About is like another word, say around, because I'm not exactly sure, but it's around 11 hours, about 11 hours. That was a very hard one. So don't worry if you found it a little bit hard. I had to think as well for that one. Okay, number 5. That takes us to number 5.
Have played
Yes.
for 2 hours. 2 hours is a specific time.
I played.
this morning.
Maybe it's very specific, but I would think I played tennis for 2 hours this morning. I think it's just I played. Yeah,
Maybe
played-
finished
it's finished. Exactly. The action is not continuing. I played tennis since just can't see. Since sorry, I played tennis for 2 hours this morning. But I lost every game. It's a finished, completed action. It's not happening or continuing to happening. So we use the past simple. The past simple. I played tennis for 2 hours this morning. We know the word for. Why? Because we've got hours, minutes, days, weeks, years. So for. Number 6, we need to use have. So yes, yes, have had this bike since I was a teenager, and I still use it. So can you see how it's not a finished, completed action? Because I still use it. Now, because when I was a teenager, it doesn't say since I was actually you could say since I was 13, since I was 14. But the point is that it happened in the past, but it's still continuing. And he even said, and I still use this bike. I still have it. I still use it. So I have had, here we've got a double to have. So the first one is have, and then we know the past of have is had. So I have had this bike since I was a teenager. Very difficult.
Who have? Why is can't have?
Because then we have to put subject, have. So it's just because we're using have. And that's
is a verb.
Yeah,
First
in the
have is a
past.
verb.
Yes.
Who have is bike's verb.
Yeah, they're both using the verb to have. But in the first rule, we know that we have the verb to have. So I have. And then have, we need to put it in the past. It's had.
Oh, first is
Yes.
I have.
Had. Yes.
The second is bike.
I have had this bike since I was a teenager. Number 7, we
Have studied. Have studied.
We studied. And remember, it ends in a Y. So we take off the Y. Sorry, is it we the subject? I just can't see. Yep. So we studied French at school for
5 years.
Now you can see it's a finished, completed action. So we've got for the years because it says here, and we didn't learn very much. I'm not still doing it. It's finished. I'm not still studying French. So past simple, we studied French at school for 5 years, but we didn't learn very much. Past simple, finished, completed, action. So that's why we say that. Number 8, he
Have.
I would say has.
Stop.
Yes, he has. So he has stopped smoking. Yeah, since 2 years. Only if it said since 2 years ago, but for 2 years he has stopped. Maybe now, but then he started again. I might change this to he stopped smoking for 2 years. Because it was a finished action because we said he stopped and then for in years, but you could see but he started again. So both past simple here and then past simple here. So now he's just smoking.
I think 2 years is a specific time.
Yes,
Why is-
specific. So
why is-
past simple.
Yeah. It's a specific time. Why is not sing?
No, remember since is with the present perfect. This is also with the past simple because it's specific, exactly when, for
Yes.
2 years.
Uh,
He stopped smoking for 2
Sing
years.
is a specific time.
If you want, another way is he had stopped smoking. He had stopped smoking. But if you want to use since, you have to say since 2 years ago. He had stopped smoking. Actually, not even. He had stopped smoking 2 years ago, but then, so this is just another advanced way of saying it, but it's not the grammar that we're learning because you could see we're not practicing for and since. So it's by adding this word, which again is just at a different higher level of English. But if you want to make it with the present perfect, you have to add 2 years ago, and there's no since or for with ago. But don't worry, because we haven't done that. That's a high level of grammar, so don't worry to ask a question for that. Just know that this is another way. That's all I'm showing you. Okay, I don't think this is news to you. So I don't think present, remember this is a negative in the present simple. You
Have known
Have no.
I don't think this is news for you. You have known
about it in a long time.
you have known about it for a long time. You have known about, did it say about it for a long time? Okay, you have known about it for a long time. So again, long time is not very, it's not exactly specific time. So present perfect. Because remember, present perfect, we can use both for and since. And number 10, this will be the last one because we'll finish here. And then we'll just have some more questions, but we ran out of time. So 10, I'm going to do these ones really quickly because we have finished. So if you want to know, I will read it, but I can't help you with questions. So number 10 is they haven't eaten meat since they saw that film. So it's haven't, they haven't eaten. Okay, they haven't eaten meat since, it would be since they saw that film about animal farms. Remember, you have the answers, so I need to go fast just to finish this part, or we won't get time. So we've got a job interview and some questions. So job interview, when you're going for a job, this is a conversation. And have you taught English before? Yes, I have. I have taught English for 3 years in Hong Kong. And when I came back, I started teaching at the Kensington School of English. If you want, you can repeat after me. So this will be an opportunity just to repeat. And I taught there since then. And what and which and did you a course in teaching English? And that's actually a strange one. And have you done? Yes, thank you, Javiera. Have you done? Well done. My mind must be very tired now. So yes, and have you done a course in teaching English? Yes, I have. I did a course before I went. Before I went to Hong Kong. So finished, completed, before I went to Hong Kong. I have the certificate here. Thank you. And what about languages? A lot of the students here are Italian and Spanish. have you ever, so remember about an experience, have you ever studied Italian or Spanish? So that should be ED. Have you ever studied Italian or Spanish? No, I, negative, haven't. No, I haven't. But I stayed, so finished completed action, but I stayed in Italy for a few weeks last year, and I learnt a bit of Italian then. So what languages did you study? Because the action is finished, he's not there anymore. So what languages did you study when you were there? Well, I did. So we can use the verb did, which is also like saying I studied. So I did French, I did German, I did medicine, I did agriculture. We use this verb to do when we talk about what did we study. So it's another way to say I studied. So, well, I did French and German at school. I would say for 5 years. And I passed the exams. Okay, so he's not talking about now, it's a finished action in the past. And I passed the exams. And and did you learn a language since, and have you learnt a language since, okay, make sure it's, and have you learnt a language since you left? Since you left school. That's a mixture. If you could see in the beginning was present perfect, and then we switched to the past simple. So, and have you learnt a language since you left school? Yes, I learnt to speak some Mandarin Chinese when I was in Hong Kong, because it's a finished, completed action. He's not learning now. He's saying, I did learn that. So I learnt to speak some Mandarin Chinese when I was in Hong Kong. Okay, so I hope you got some pronunciation near the end. What did we do? Let's look back. So remember, we just looked really at the present perfect, being able to tell someone what happened in the past, and which we can do with the past simple, yes, but this time we're just using a different grammar, and we want to add now for and since. So we said, for how long did the action happen? Or since when? That means exactly since when. Since I was 5 years old, since 2 o'clock. So when I use since, I'm being very specific with the time. And remember, since, you can only use it with the present perfect. That's what we learned. A lot of grammar. We did a lot of exercises. So if you need to have a look. Next lesson, we will be talking about the past continuous. So remember, using your verb to be, was or were in the past, and then the continuous, that's the ing. So she was working. Okay, so past continuous, it's an action that happened in the past. And usually we use this when we're like telling what happened, a story. And then we're going to get into some conditional after that. Okay, so that will be all next lesson. So all during